I try to dress subtle for you guys this morning. I hope that's all right. So good morning and congratulations, ACPA, class of 2016. I am so honored and excited to be here for your big day. This morning I was thinking back to my own high school graduation, sitting where you are, listening to the speaker who came to inspire us. And I'm not going to lie, I was a little preoccupied worrying about what my hair was going to look like when I took that cap off, so I missed some of it. But I do remember being very proud that I had worked hard and made it to that day. So even if you don't remember anything else I say, I hope that you take a moment sometime today, take a deep breath, and let yourself feel that same sense of pride that I did back then. Think about the first time you ever walked in the door at ACPA. That was a milestone moment too, just like today. Think about all the ways you have grown since then. How much more you understand about the world and about yourself. Think about all the selfies and tweets that you've sent out over these last 4 years. And most importantly, think about everything that you've accomplished and the challenges that you've worked through to make it to this important moment right now. It's not where you start out in life that ultimately defines your journey. It's what's important is where you want to go. And I'm here because I believe in each and every one of you, and I know that you are going places. High school isn't easy. To be honest, when I was in your shoes, I couldn't wait to be finished with it. It wasn't such a great time for me. I didn't know who I was yet. All I knew was that I loved to paint and that I didn't feel like I fit in with the other people in my class. I never understood other adults when they would say they wish they could go back in time and be teenagers again, because my life has gotten so much better since then. But I started to understand a little better after I visited ACPA for the first time a few years ago. A friend of mine said, "You have to check out this school. They're doing something really incredible." So I took his advice, and he was right. I feel inspired every time I walk in the front door of that building. The artwork that covers every surface, the sounds of musical instruments behind the band room door, all the impromptu theatrical rehearsals happening in the hallway. Last time I was there, I literally almost got glitter bombed by a group of people running down the hallway carrying fashion accessories for a fashion show that was happening in the next day or two. How awesome is that? That never happened at my high school. There's so many things that make ACPA special, but for me, it's the spirit of inclusiveness, diversity, and absolute acceptance that sets you apart from any other school community I have ever experienced. To the faculty, staff, students, and everyone responsible for making ACPA what it is today, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for contributing something so important to our community. You have changed countless lives, including mine, because for the first time ever, I actually wish that I could go back and be a high school student again. You inspire me, so I take my job here this morning of saying something inspirational to you very seriously. As an artist, I've had the privilege of sharing my work with people all around the world. I recently got to work with James Franco, making paintings for a movie he was filming. I've made artwork for the covers of over 400 books. And just last month, I had my first solo museum exhibition. I'm very lucky that my passion has become my career, but it wasn't just luck. And it's also not because I was born with some magical talent that other people don't have. I don't believe in that. I think the great opportunities I've had so far are mostly because I was willing to take risks, work hard, and had the confidence to approach people and ask for their help. It requires confidence to take your dreams seriously in a world where one of the biggest insults that you could say about a creative person is that they tried too hard. I call BS on that. In my opinion, you can never try too hard. I'd rather be over-prepared, overdressed, over the top, I've been accused of all of that, and overboard, than feel like I failed because I didn't care enough to try. Rejection is scary, but everyone has to deal with it. J.K. Rowling, the author of Harry Potter, once said, "It is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well not have lived at all." in which case you fail by default. A lot of my confidence comes from the people in my life who supported me. When I was 3 years old, I made around 200 drawings a day, and these were not masterpieces. They were scribbles in crayon on paper, but you have to start somewhere. And my mom and dad didn't know what to do with me because they're not artists. My poor father would try to get me to play sports with him, and I'd just give him a disapproving glare and say something like, "Seriously?" and then go back to my drawing. Despite having no clue why I did what I did, they somehow connected with a local painter named Linda Regula and convinced her to give me lessons in her studio once a week, and that was really where it all began. I'm so grateful to my parents for going that far outside of their comfort zones and seeing that I got the education I needed to thrive. And that's something that you and I have in common, because every single one of you graduating today got the education you needed to thrive because someone in your life believed in you enough to make it happen. And you can never say thank you enough to those people who love and support you unconditionally, because that stays with you wherever you go and can be a source of strength for you in whatever you do. I started the You Will Rise project with Linda, my childhood art teacher, because art was what saved me. I was the favorite target for the bullies in my class when I was growing up. I was tall, awkward, uncoordinated, way more effeminate than boys in my small town were supposed to be. They all wanted to be Michael Jordan, I wanted to be the Little Mermaid, and there was no common ground. They made my life pretty miserable for a while, so I understand how some people get to that place where they feel like giving up, because I've been there. It can feel so lonely and hopeless sometimes. But having a creative outlet and someone like Linda believing in me and pushing me to express myself made all the difference. If you've been lucky enough to have a great teacher or mentor who helped you overcome something or accomplish an important goal, the best thing you can do to thank them is to pay it forward. That's what mentorship is all about. So as you sit here today getting ready to start this next chapter, you may be feeling a little nervous about what lies ahead. There's a lot of pressure on young people to figure out what they want to do with the rest of their lives. Meanwhile, my husband and I can't even usually decide what we want to eat for dinner. Just know that the rest of your life is a long time, and you may find that your goals and dreams change a bit as you get older. That's okay. When I was getting ready to start as a freshman at Columbus College of Art and Design, I was convinced I wanted to be a Disney animator. That's what all the cool kids there were doing at that time. I don't really know why I thought this would be a good goal for me, except that when I was growing up, I did sort of want to be a Disney princess, so that seemed like the closest I could get. I didn't have all the information yet, though, just the dream. One animation class, and I figured out that was not for me. There's way too much math involved. So if any of you are thinking along those lines and you hate math, let me save you the trouble. Until you really dissect a dream, it's hard to know if you really want it or not. It was difficult for me to admit that I changed my mind because I wanted people to see me as a success. But what does that word success really mean? As a kid, I thought success meant getting to stand in front of lots of people at a microphone and wearing something flashy, and obviously that's not what my life is about today. Today, I think being a success means doing what you love with integrity and contributing something meaningful to society. And that's what I get to do every day, and that's my biggest wish for all of you. I don't like to give advice because I think everyone's different and should follow their own path. Plus, my path has been so crazy I wouldn't know how to map it out for you anyway. But I will say this, in my experience, I have never regretted trying something, even if I failed. To me, that's always better than sitting back and wondering, what if? You may risk losing some cool points, but at the end of the day, you can't cash those in for anything anyway. Pleasing everyone isn't possible, and we all stumble here and there. I've got one other little story for you. I once misunderstood the purpose of an event, and long story short, ended up dressing in drag on stage in front of a sold-out arena filled with people who, let's just say, were not real into that. I was booed by a crowd of 18,000 people. So it's hard to believe that I would do any more public speaking after an experience like that. But the truth is, I kind of needed it, because once you bomb that hard and survive, you realize something. You realize that RuPaul had it right when he said, What other people think about me is none of my business. Or, in the words of another wise prophet, share, until you're ready to look foolish, you'll never have the possibility of being great. I think there are great things in store for each of you, and I sincerely wish you all the best on this incredibly special occasion. Life is an exciting, crazy, messy, wonderful adventure, so stay true to yourself, try too hard as often as you can, keep accepting people for who they are, especially yourself, and make the most of every opportunity that comes your way. I have so much hope and admiration for your generation, and I have no doubt that you'll take everything you've learned during your time here at ACPA and go out there and make this world a better place than you found it. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Hey everyone, Paul Richmond here with the beautiful
Vivian von Brokenheimen.
And we are here to do another episode of Painting with Friends.
I feel like Vanna White.
You look just like her too.